Hey, welcome everybody. It's our AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming review show. Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page go to a 60-minute draw. MJF wins the Dynamite Diamond Ring again. And Sting teaming up with CM Punk next week. A lot going on in pro wrestling. Johnny North is here. I'm here. Let's get to it. Da-da-da-da. Yes, indeed. How are you, big guy?
Not bad. First hour was kind of long, but enjoyable. Second hour, it felt very quick. I don't know about you.
I felt like the first hour went by a lot faster than the second hour. Maybe I feel differently. I don't know. I was just enthralled with that match. We start off the show, Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson. It's a 60-minute match. It goes to a time limit draw. They had several commercial breaks during the match. I was glued to the screen like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I think that may have been the greatest 60-minute match I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot. I've seen a lot of 60-minute matches. I've seen a lot of 60-minute draws. I've seen a lot of wrestling throughout the course of my life. That may have been the best 60-minute draw I've ever seen. A Broadway, as they used to call it. A Broadway, 60 minutes every night, then up all night with the ladies. Woo! Right? Nature Boy Ric Flair used to go 60-minute draws every single night. This is a typical thing in professional wrestling. This is an old school thing. And I thought it was pretty cool. In his first title defense as AEW champion, Hangman Page has a classic 60-minute draw. The Broadway. That's what they call it. I liked it. I thought it was great. And I was not, I didn't feel it was long. I mean, yeah, for a match, it was pretty long if you look at the time. But I wasn't bored. I don't think it dragged. I thought the pace was very high. I was impressed with the conditioning of both guys. Not a lot of breaks in that match. Everything went quickly. I mean, they sold. They did what they had to do. They took little breaks here and there. It's a 60-minute match. But I really liked the pacing of it. I thought it was really solid the whole way through and entertaining, and there were chapters in the match. Bryan starts it out doing that grappling, handling Hangman. Hangman having his comeback. I mean, there were, different phases, different stages of that wrestling match. I was in it 110% the whole way through. But, you know me, I'm maybe the world's biggest Bryan Danielson fan. I love the guy. I think he's the greatest wrestler in the world today and one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Certainly better than the Nature Boy Ric Flair, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Now, I thought the match was fantastic, phenomenal stuff. I didn't think it was long. Did you think it dragged, John? Would you not have gone with a 60-minute match there? I have no problems with anything that happened in that match. And very rarely can I think of an AEW Dynamite episode where we can go a full hour without having any problems with it. That match was the best. Doug with a great comment. That was the most invested in picture-in-picture I've ever been. I agree. Me too. Me too. Those picture-in-pictures, usually you kind of tune away. If you're behind a couple minutes, you might fast forward through. I wasn't fast forwarding through anything. I was watching each and every second of that match. I didn't want to miss a moment. I thought it was incredible. Shout out to Doug Hepburn, member of the team. Shout out to Brian Firth, who likes our new merchandise. Of course, you can get some new merch over at ringsidereport.net/shop. Shout out to Angelo. Shout out to Brian, Silent by Deadly, Lorne. Everybody watching us live. Did you not like it, John? I don't know. I'm trying to get a read on this from you. Did you like it?
Well, the wrestling was fine. The content they gave us was good. The problem was when you went to commercial and we didn't get the picture-in-picture. For me, that kind of killed the momentum that they were building, because then it's like, yeah, hi Santa. Like, we just do the whole thing through the table, and then like, oh, we're going to commercial, and it's like, well, that really killed a lot of the energy I thought for the match.
But you could keep watching it during picture-in-picture.
No, you didn't have picture-in-picture.
For one commercial break. One break, yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
And it was a pivotal spot, too. Like, that's when he went right through the table. Like, you really need picture-in-picture at that moment.
Maybe. I don't know. The fact that there was one commercial break without picture-in-picture didn't hurt the match for me. I mean, I guess if that's what you want to throw out as a criticism, okay. But as far as the in-ring aspect, the match itself, the story that was told, it was pretty damn incredible. It was pretty damn incredible. And I'm seeing Silent by Deadly saying if there would have been a winner, it could have been Match of the Year. I don't think you need a winner for it to be Match of the Year. I think that is Match of the Year. It's my Match of the Year. And Bryan Danielson really is all the matches of the year. Bryan Danielson is in the Match of the Year for WWE at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns and Edge. Bryan Danielson was in the previous Match of the Year with Kenny Omega, a very close second with Minoru Suzuki. But now this 60-minute draw with Hangman, I believe, is the new Match of the Year. Bryan Danielson, Match of the Year in WWE and AEW in the same calendar year. I mean, come on. How do you not give it up to this guy? He might be the greatest of all time. Shout out to Brian Firth dropping a super chat. Thank you, Brian. He says he likes the new merch with Johnny. We got Smiling Johnny on some merch, Johnny. I know you didn't know that, but it's coming.
I figured it was going to happen one day.
Oh, it's happening. It is happening. You better believe.
But we're talking about like Match of the Year. I thought you said the Kenny and Daniel match was better.
Well, I thought it was, but until we saw the match tonight. I think this beat that. I thought that was the previous Match of the Year.
Wow.
I think tonight was better. 60 minutes, man. For the title. Hangman delivered.
Yeah.
Hangman delivered.
I mean,
Kenny's great. That match was fantastic. But for me, personal preference, this is an art. It is subjective. I'd say that Bryan Hangman tonight is the Match of the Year for me.
Well, you're also saying for AEW as well. I mean,
yep.
Overall, it's kind of tough right now. I mean, going to take a couple weeks to think about this, but this was definitely yeah, I mean, I almost have to rewatch that Kenny and Daniel Bryan match again, because you got to remember the atmosphere for that as well. That was an incredible atmosphere. That was the biggest crowd AEW had. Mm-hmm. And that match, like, that was a really good match. Like, it's tough to say which one was better, this one or that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great matches, though, right? I think tonight was fantastic. And, you know, whether you say, oh, this is the best or this is whatever, it's one of the best, right? They delivered a match that is in the conversation for Match of the Year. And that's all you can really hope for. And it's not something that you get every week on a wrestling show. Very rarely does a week in pro wrestling go by, and we're watching everything, right? Very rarely does a week go by where we say, oh, that was a candidate for Match of the Year. I mean, very rarely does a pay-per-view go by and we have a candidate for Match of the Year. But tonight, Dynamite, it's up there. I like that AEW is giving us all their Match of the Years, best matches on Dynamite. It's on free TV. Their pay-per-views have been great this year, but the top matches have really been on Dynamite. Great stuff.
Well, again, I mean, you really have to look back on every little thing. It's kind of tough right now, but, you know, this helps because it's kind of fresh. Helps a lot. But, you know, this was very good. But I do question the fact that this is Hangman's first defense of the championship, and it ends up in a draw. That kind of hurts, like, how you perceive the champion. It doesn't come off as very strong if you can't successfully defend the title his first time out.
I guess. He defended the title, though, right? He was almost going to win. He hit his finisher, and time ran out. Like, Hangman
But he
did
didn't
look
win.
good. He didn't win, but he did escape Bryan's yes lock, right? He escaped Bryan's finish attempt, and a few moments later, he hit the buckshot lariat, was crawling over to make the cover, and that's where time elapsed and the match ended in a draw. But Hangman looked as though he was on his way to closing the door on Bryan Danielson at the end of the match, but we will never know, and of course that's why you have to have the rematch, and that's why the drama was so perfectly built. Beautiful grappling by Bryan Danielson. You know, he really struggles with his holds. He doesn't kind of transition from one move to another. He makes sure that the guy is pinned down. He really moves from one hold to the next very smoothly and very realistically, and that's one of the reasons why he is so great. A lot of that opening stuff that Bryan was doing on Hangman, just beautiful technical wrestling from the wizard Bryan Danielson, controlling Hangman on offense, out grappling him. I really liked all those moments where, you know, he would get the edge on Hangman. Hangman would rush in and he would go into the ropes and the ref would push Hangman back, and Bryan was, you know, frustrating Hangman in the early goings. He had a strategy. It felt like a real fight. You know, it felt like, okay, Bryan's got a strategy here. He's trying to do something. Like, it felt real, and the story progressed. Just incredible stuff. Bryan smashing Hangman's face and shoulder on the ring post. How about that bump that Hangman took off the top rope when Bryan just shoved him, and he does the kind of fall there back first on the ring apron to the floor? That was nasty. Hangman was bleeding from his head. Looked like he cut himself with a razor blade. Hangman checked on by the doctor and the referee for an entire commercial break. No countouts. No countouts. Just, you know,
Well,
checking on him.
because in this kind of match, because it's for the title, usually the refs are more lenient on the countouts because they want the winner in the ring, right?
Mhm.
So usually that's why they don't do the countouts that much, or at least they give them the warning, then they do the countouts, because it's to push the fact that they want the actual finish in the ring.
And it was during a commercial break, so we don't know if Bryan was maybe yelling at the ref like, "Don't count him out, don't count him out." He may have been. A lot of middle fingers from Bryan.
Some F-bombs too, I think.
Yeah,
From both guys.
yeah. It was pretty good. It was very intense. You know, Bryan brought that intensity. Bryan taking that dead eye on the apron from Hangman, good God. He sold that like death. That was nasty.
It was better than the one in the ring, and the one in the ring didn't look like it hit that good, but that one on one apron was much better.
Yeah. It looked rough. And the history that he's got with neck issues and concussion issues, taking that type of move on the apron and selling it the way he did, it feels real. You know, it feels real because it looked, bam. Like you said, the one in the ring, not as good, but the one on the apron, goodness.
I'd be more concerned with the dive because you saw him holding his head on the dive. So I don't know if he jarred his neck maybe on that possibly.
I think both guys are going to be out for a bit, not wrestling. I mean, obviously doing promos, but I think the time of Bryan Danielson wrestling every single week is done for at least a couple of weeks. Hangman was selling his shoulder during that match, and Bryan was selling his leg, so I think that they're both going to be, you know, selling injuries and maybe not wrestling for the time being. Hangman going off the top rope onto that table that didn't break was pretty rough. Jumps off the top rope to dive on Bryan. Bryan gets out of the way. Hangman hits the table. It doesn't break. Looked like he kind of hit the corner of the table in his chest.
The title belt was there too.
Yeah, it looked rough. Like, it would have been better, I think, had the table broken and broken his fall, but instead he just kind of thudded into the table. Hell of a match. Hell of a match. Time limit draw. Just as Hangman hits the buckshot lariat, 60 minutes. They opened the show with this, and I know people are going to say, well, why would they open the show with the main event, the best match on the card? if you start this match at like 9 o'clock and you've done everything else on the show, well, you kind of figure it's going to go 60 minutes, right? Like if they've done all the stuff they have to do on Dynamite and then they leave this till the end and they started at 9, well, you kind of know, okay, well, this is probably going to go for an hour. I think it gives it away a little bit. But at the same time, when you present a wrestling program and your opening match is for your world championship and your main event is between MJF and Dante Martin for some sort of gimmick diamond ring, I think it kind of confuses the audience. Like, what's more important in this company? Is it the diamond ring that they saved to the end, or is it the world championship? It's, it's a little weird, and that I don't love. I don't love that to avoid spoiling us on the finish of the match, they had to put the world title match as the opener. To me, if you're going to have a world title match on television, it should close the show. I understand why it didn't. It just, especially for Hangman's first world title, I feel like you diminish the value of the world championship if you present it as the opening match. But I don't really know another way around it. What do you think about the match opening Dynamite?
Well, I think it's mainly done for ratings because this is the match that everyone wanted to see. This is the match everyone was talking about. Get it out right away. That way you get most people watching it, most people talking about it. You know it's going to go on for an hour, so people are going to be talking about it even after it's done. So you have a better chance of people actually sticking through the rest of the show just because they were so enticed by that first hour.
But what about the theory of, save your best shit till the end so people have to watch your whole show to see what they want? To me, a lot of wrestling fans, okay, they may have stuck around for the show at the beginning for the first hour, but then once you saw Bryan and Hangman, you look at the lineup of the rest of the show, was there a reason to keep watching? If I'm not doing this show with you, John, if I'm not here recapping Dynamite, I don't know if I watch the rest of the show after I see Bryan and Hangman. Because I think most people are tuning in to see the world title match, Bryan Hangman. And then with the weak-ass lineup that AEW gave us for the rest of the card, that's not much of a reason to stick around. Not to say the show was bad afterwards, but it wasn't that interesting. It wasn't something that I needed to see. Nothing that I saw tonight was necessary, except for MJF telling all of Texas that their daughter swallows, which I thought was a shocking opening line from MJF. Other than that, I didn't really need to see much of the rest of the Dynamite show, right? So there's that. There's like, what about, keeping the thing to the end so we have to sit through this crap that you're giving us? Because once we see the best thing on the show, we know nothing else is going to be as good. Why watch?
Well, I think the idea is like they give you something good right away, and then maybe if you're lucky, you'll get something good at the end as well. Because lights went out. Seemed like there was going to be some sort of surprise. It was just Darby Allin and Sting, but
yeah,
there was that chance it was going to be some big surprise.
But it wasn't. And what's the big surprise? And really, John, what is the big surprise supposed to be that Dave, is supposed to give a shit about? Kyle O'Reilly? Johnny Gargano? Bray Wyatt? Like, there's nobody out there that I give a shit about. Unless Tony Khan's going to march his skinny ass out to the ring and go, we got Okada! I don't care. And he's not doing that.
It's funny, though, like, he's probably the better chance of all those guys. Like, they'll probably have Okada instead, right?
No, they're going to get Kyle O'Reilly, like, next week. And I don't care.
Seems a little quick.
No, they are. Isn't he gone? His contract ran out. He's done. He's gone. And Adam Cole, baby, said he's got a big Christmas gift for the Bucks next week. Big surprise.
Oh, well, there you go. Sure.
It's his friend.
Fine.
His friend Kyle O'Reilly. Where's Roderick Strong? Is he still in NXT?
He just wrestled on NXT.
His wife just wrestled on Dark.
Yep, that happened as well. It's interesting the way things are set up, but he's still in NXT, and I don't think he's going to stop wrestling. He's still the Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah. Shows how much I follow that product. Call me when Baby Steiner's the world champion there, and I might start paying attention. Get out of here. Get out of here with that jabroni-ass show. Jabroni shit. So Hangman and Bryan will have a rematch. They already talked about the rematch. They're like, okay, the rematch will be great. I can't wait for the rematch. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm into it. I hope Bryan beats him in the rematch.
Well, you should be happy. This is the best case scenario that happened right here. Was the fact that
no, best case scenario is Bryan is the world champion right now. That's what I was hoping for. Got my T-shirt ready and everything.
Well, you need to manage your expectations in this one. Like the fact that this continues and it's more than likely going to be at the pay-per-view or another big event. More chances you get, the more likely you're going to be the champion. So you can easily see Bryan capture the championship eventually.
I hope so. When do you think they do this? Battle of the Belts in January? Some sort of Dynamite special? Or do they wait till a pay-per-view?
Well, Battle of the Belts is what, the 5th or something? Or first Saturday or second Saturday?
Something. I don't know. I really don't know.
Something like that. Maybe the 8th or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But pay-per-view is March 6th, so that's a long ways away.
So, okay. Well, we'll see. Does Bryan take it in the next match?
If it's March 6th, I say yes.
Yeah.
If it's January 8th, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this was a classic. This is my match of the year. I thought it was fantastic. Loved Hangman and Bryan tonight. Loved it. And then the rest of the show happened. And it was not as good. Angelo, I think, dropped in a super chat saying pretty much as much.
It's Santa!
Angelo agreeing with me 100%, as he does, because Angelo knows. He's a smart man. He says, I didn't care for the rest of the show. The Danielson-Hangman match was the best match I watched all year. I agree. 110%. I thought the rest of the show was kind of but that opening match, the first hour, I went to get a cup of coffee at like 8:45. I was like, this match is still going on. This is crazy. They're going full 60 at this point. This is nuts. You see Ric Flair was talking shit about Bryan Danielson this week, said, oh, he's good, but I don't know if he's great, and he's a good hand, he's a good worker, but, Like, he was not that complimentary. And I know I talked about it on Twitter a little bit, John, and you were saying, oh, he called him a good hand. That's not an insult. But you didn't hear what Flair said about him. He was not very nice about him. I listened to the Ric Flair podcast. I heard what he said. And he was not that complimentary. It doesn't matter what he said. He didn't swear. Who cares if he swore? I don't know. Not really, I don't think.
Because I heard him on Shivani's podcast, and all he did was like bleep, bleep, bleep almost every second word. They had to bleep out like a whole section of him talking. Like, Flair seems to be going crazy. I mean, I guess they call it Uncensored, right, his podcast? Kind of like ours, in a sense.
Who? Are they? Is it?
Isn't it Flair Uncensored or something?
Lawsuit time. Is
Lawsuit time. Well, Wrestling Uncensored, Flair Uncensored, totally different.
Ric Flair, Woo Nation Uncensored. I mean, that's a lengthy title if I ever heard one. Ric Flair, Woo Nation. Why not just Woo Nation? Why'd you have to steal our gimmick with the Uncensored? You couldn't just do Woo Nation? Woo Nation Uncensored. Anyways, this is what he said about Bryan Danielson. I didn't say he wasn't a good worker. I'm not going to do the Flair impression. When Hunter put him over at WrestleMania 30, that made him. He's a very talented kid. Don't misunderstand me. But you have to have one match, one place, one day, somewhere that makes you who you are. Hunter, who only wrestles once in a while, came out, and the match started off slow, but they ended up having a world-class match. He's a hell of a performer. I don't see him as being Kenny Omega. As a babyface, he's not Ricky Steamboat. As a heel, he's not me. If that pisses people off, they have to live with history.
Well, he said a lot of truth right there. Like,
I would much rather watch a Bryan Danielson match than a Ric Flair match. Now, I know Flair is looked at as the greatest of all time by a lot of guys that are born 20 years before I was. But as far as I'm concerned, Ric Flair was always just like a good promo, but his ring work was, what did Brett say? Routine wrestler? You seen one, you seen them all?
yeah, but promo-wise, like, you can't deny his promos.
So what? I don't watch wrestling to hear guys talk. Like, okay, sometimes I do. I like some promos. Promos are good. But, like, if you're going to tell me who's a better wrestler, I would say Bryan Danielson 100 times out of 100. Come on.
Yeah,
Much
of course,
better than
but
Flair. Much better than Flair.
there's more to it than that, though.
Yeah, but his promos and his character is pretty damn good. Like, I don't think that he has the promo ability of a Ric Flair. I don't think that there are many guys in the history of the business with the promo ability of Ric Flair, but so what? I think that Flair has better promos than Bret Hart. I still think Bret's a million times better than Flair.
As a wrestler, 100%. Again, but
There you go.
when it comes to promos, I mean, you can't, Brett will admit he can't touch Flair.
So? But who's all around better? Who do you prefer? Who's the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, John?
Yeah, I prefer Brett, but as you said already, many people prefer Flair, though. And there will
Yeah.
always be that Flair,
Sure.
fan base.
Oh,
You can't deny that.
many people prefer Shawn Michaels over Bret Hart. Many people say Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. Many people say Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time. And you can say all the things that you want. I believe that Bret Hart is the greatest of all time and that Bryan Danielson is the greatest living wrestler today and that Bryan Danielson is probably the second greatest wrestler of all time next to Bret. And we'll see in the next couple of years, maybe he'll be better than Bret one day, although I don't know if that's possible. But in my opinion, Bret is number one and Bryan is number two. And Flair isn't in my top 5. Neither is Shawn Michaels, by the way. Suck on that. Kurt Angle is. Chris Jericho is. Flair and Shawn, no room for them in my top 5. Hulk Hogan's up there, brother. Talk about promos.
Well,
wow.
If you saw what Flair wrote about this match that we just saw, he had nothing but praise for this match. So I think you'd look at Flair a bit differently if you read what he wrote about that.
Of what?
If you just see he just tweeted it not too long ago, about the match, saying it was for a 60-minute match, that set a new level, new peak for matches like that. They set the bar actually for 60-minute matches.
Flair said this about Bret and Shawn.
No, about tonight, what we just saw.
When did Flair said this?
Did you go check for Flair's Twitter?
Oh, Flair tweeted tonight about this match?
Flair was watching. Flair watches the product.
Oh, there you go.
See, Flair's smart.
Well, he's smart because he took a lot of heat because they're like, hey, how come you don't rate Bryan Danielson very highly? And he's like, oh, sorry, brother. I guess I don't know. You're right, John. This is good. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. There's Ric Flair tonight. I've done so many hour draws, some great, some average. Tonight, you gentlemen set a new bar. The wrestling world can learn from the Adam Page and Bryan Danielson. Congratulations! Woo! I like the low-key Flair. I don't do the crazy Flair. I like the, hey, brother, it's me, Ric Flair, the Nature Boy.
It sounds like Bret.
Yeah, I know. I don't do a good Flair is what I'm saying. My Bret, though, is pretty good. Hey, I'm Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm the greatest wrestler of all time. Ric Flair is just a routine wrestler. You seen one, you seen them all. It's pretty boring. Not a great style. I beat Flair in Saskatoon for the belt. It was a bullshit match. Flair gave me nothing. It's pathetic. Bret hates that match. Did not like Flair.
As a kid, I loved that match.
Yeah, because Bret won the belt, but Brett did not seem to like Flair too much. He said some pretty negative things about Flair throughout his career, and yeah, I'm with Brett on everything. On everything. So, okay, Flair is taking back some of his mean words about Bryan, and I guess he's figuring out that Bryan is, better than him in every way, but, whatever. As far as I know, Bryan has beaten Flair in the numbers that count. Marriages, 1. Sexual assaults, 0.
Doesn't that mean no? He actually hasn't beaten Flair in marriages. He has to actually catch up to Flair because Flair's got so many more marriages.
No, it's like golf, brother. You want to have the smaller number.
Well, it depends who you're talking to. Flair, I think, is proud of it, actually.
Yeah, ask his accountants if he's proud of it. Ask the fucking alimony he has to pay to all of those women. He's still paying off. I mean, come on. He's broke. Because he got married 4 times. Broke.
You don't remember that promo where he's laughing about it?
Well, whatever. You can laugh about it in promos because it is funny because it's ridiculous. At that point, you laugh to help from crying. Good God. 4 times.
All that money.
Yeah. Down the toilet. And not just the alcohol. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and the Young Bucks cut a backstage promo about the best friends. They're going to do an 8-man tag on Rampage. They say they're going to super kick Sue, Trent's mom, which I'd pay to see. I hope they do that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
They probably won't.
Need to see that. That's kind of mean, but wait and see.
Mean things are fun. Young Bucks, Cole, and Fish will take on Chuck Taylor, Trent, Orange Cassidy, and Rocky Romero on Rampage this coming Friday. We'll also have Johnny's favorite, Ty Conti, taking on Penelope Ford in a submission match on Rampage this Friday. That could be rough. Wow, Lauren's cousin is on his 4th wife. Well, good luck to him. Good luck to him. Hope this one sticks. 4 wives. 4 times. Getting married 4 times. To me, you get married 2 times. You get divorced 2 times. After that, you say, why don't we just not get married? Because I've not had good luck. But you just keep on going. You keep pushing. As John Cena says, never give up.
Didn't he get remarried? I'm pretty sure he got remarried.
John Cena, yeah, he's on his 2nd marriage right now. Only 2. Go. Only 2.
Yeah, but he was supposed to get married to Nikki Bella. Didn't happen, but...
Well, he proposed to her at WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah. They didn't get married, though. Nikki's married and Cena's married to different people, John. Okay? Okay?
What's this about the Quebec government says no more fans?
I don't know what the hell's going on in the chat. There's people talking about homicrons and 80-year-olds marrying 68-year-olds, which that seems about right. Apparently, things are going badly in Ontario, so shout out to Doug Hepburn. I hope everything's all right for you. But, yeah, there's a virus, COVID stuff still happening. Come on.
Well, yeah, this is kind of a big thing. This might affect you, actually. Hopefully it doesn't, but because Ontario, they're cutting back the capacity for the arenas to 50%.
Yeah,
so that means yeah, so that means the WWE event in Toronto is only going to be at 50% capacity now.
How do they do that if they've sold tickets?
Yeah, that's very interesting how that's going to work out. So hopefully that doesn't come to us.
Well, how does that work? If they've sold tickets for packed arenas, right? Like they've sold for whatever, 20,000, and then they say, "Oh, well, we can only have 50%." Are they going to call 10,000 people and say, "Yeah, sorry, you're going to cancel your tickets"? And who decides who gets to go and who doesn't?
Yeah, it sounds like a mess.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Sounds like a huge mess.
Yeah, doesn't make sense to me. I don't see how that works.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of angry people, I think.
Well, yeah. I don't even want to think about it because I don't really want to. I don't want to talk about COVID and pandemic and all sorts of bullshit that's happening because I'm gonna get myself kicked off YouTube if I really go in. Honestly, I'm tired of it. I'm gonna get myself kicked off, and I don't want to do it. All right, I don't want the aggravation. I just think I'm supposed to go see WWE in 15 days. Take my son to see his first ever WWE show in 15 days. Government better not fuck with me, is all I'm saying. If they do...
Fingers crossed.
If they do...
Fingers crossed.
Who knows what I might do? Who knows what I might do? Or say. More likely say. But I'm already getting kind of pissed at all this stuff happening. Bunch of idiots mismanaging situations constantly, over and over again. Bunch of morons. Governments. Is there anybody in government anywhere that you trust? Is there any elected official that you actually trust or respect anywhere where you live? Because I can't think of one where I live. At any level, federal, municipal, provincial, I cannot think of one government entity, one politician that's elected that I trust or respect. So the fact that we're leaving these momos in charge is worrisome. During a time when we need, intelligent people, strong leadership, we have some of the worst, inadequate, racist dumbasses on the planet. Unbelievable. Fucking blackface in chief, and goes down the line from there. It still astonishes me that we have a prime minister who has been pictured in blackface multiple times that keeps getting reelected. What does that tell you about the country of Canada? What does that tell you about the people that live here that are willing to vote for a blackface man? A white man who wears blackface. And who's done it on numerous occasions. And who remembers alleged sexual assaults differently. He has different memories of things. What a joke that guy is. And this country keeps electing him. What does that tell you about the country we live in? It's a fucking joke. Every goddamn politician is in it for themselves. They're not in it for you. They're not in it for the people. It's a goddamn joke. See, this is what happens, John. I don't want to get going on this stuff. Don't bring this stuff up to me.
Pandora's box.
Yeah, you open this box where it's like, God damn, these people are such idiots, and I can't believe we're still listening to these people. These people that are making the rules are some of the dumbest, useless, out of shape, just vile human beings, wretched people. Not like the great people involved in professional wrestling. These people are in shape. They're intelligent. They're creative. They're willing to take risks, put their body on the line. They're not going to go tell somebody else to go fight the fight for them. They're going to go in the ring and fight the fight for themselves. Professional wrestlers have heart. A lot of them have integrity. Not all of them, but, some of them. I would trust a pro wrestler way, way before I would trust a politician. But I wouldn't trust a pro wrestler politician like Kane. Don't trust Kane. Guy's the devil's favorite demon. I mean, how could you trust a guy who's the devil's favorite demon, right? Can't trust Kane. See that controversial interview Kane did about vaccines and stuff? That was fun.
I'm sure it's something he wants to get rid of the mask mandate or something.
Yeah, something
about that.
I don't know. He's trying to get votes. He's in Tennessee. He's trying to get votes. What are you going to do? Does that song play every time he walks out to do like a speech? Slow Chemical?
I don't think it's not the that one. Not
that's
the
the
Finger
best
11
one.
Song.
When she's not around. Da, 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 da. That's a good fucking song. Tell you that much.
I think it's just a generic WWE theme. That's it.
You think?
More than likely, just because, the licensing. I don't think they have it anymore.
They don't have the license to Slow Chemical anymore? Damn,
I don't think
man.
so.
All right. So Wardlow beat Matt Sydal. This was the match after Hangman versus Bryan. After we see an hour of excellent wrestling, we see Wardlow squashing Matt Sydal. I barely paid attention.
Well, you got to have short matches because you only have 1 hour left, and you have, what was it, 4 other matches to do, or 3? They have to be quick.
I guess he had to get through it. I didn't care about this match. Sean Spears was in Wardlow's corner. He beat on Sydal with a chair afterwards. Then he got on the mic and took a call from MJF and told Wardlow that they had to go do something for MJF. And Wardlow seemed upset that, I guess they're teasing an MJF versus Wardlow thing again. They're doing that again.
Well, I just don't think he liked being used as, like, an errand boy. He showed that he's much more than that, but MJF should treat him like that. So I think it was just to show that he didn't really appreciate that.
Yeah. But, that's what he is, isn't he? He's MJF's guy. He's his backup. He's his Batista. But eventually Batista turned on Triple H, and of course they're doing that here. And I'm not interested. Another thing I wasn't interested in, that weird Malachi Black promo. He says the house always wins, and he put a chain around a druid of some sort. I don't know what the hell that was. Do you know what that was?
I had no idea what the heck he was talking about. I didn't mind Varsity Blondes, their promo. That was okay, except the ending. The ending was kind of weird, but I didn't mind that whatsoever.
Right, but the Malachi Black thing, like, what the hell was that? What? Like,
I have no idea what the heck he was talking about.
Come on, dude. Is anybody out there, like, does anybody like that? Does anybody see that promo and go, damn, that was good? Or is everybody like us thinking, what the hell was that? There's got to be somebody out there thinking, wow. It's like the Bray Wyatt fans. They see a promo like that from Malachi Black, and they're like, wow, it's deep, and he's got layers, and he's telling a story that's coded language, and You think?
Like, yeah, like to me, it feels like old school Bray Wyatt, where you just like kind of rambling about stuff, and I don't understand what the heck he's talking about. But he knows what he's talking about, at least, so he has a rhyme and a reason. I have no idea what the heck he's talking about.
And of course, he's in a mini feud with the Varsity Blondes, which is really high profile. They're doing a backstage promo. Well, it's Griff Garrison. And I know you're asking yourself, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? As you should always ask yourself, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? Because really, still, I can't quite figure it out. He's the big jungle boy. And they're mad because Malachi hit Julia Hart, their little manager girl, with the black mist. Julia Hart is dating one of the AEW guys. I think it's Lee Johnson. I think she's dating Lee Johnson, right? I saw something on Twitter with that. I was like, oh, yeah, Lee Johnson. I wonder why they call it Lee Johnson.
Revealed it on the Cody show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. They had to get Cody's blessing.
Why?
Because that's his students. They thought they had to get his blessing. And he was like, oh, why? What does it matter?
Yeah. What does he care?
Well, they just wanted to be polite about it.
Oh, that's weird. Hey, Cody, can we fuck each other? No. I don't think so. No one fucks around me. What the... and Pillman is there with Griff Garrison because they're a tag team, and Pillman Jr. is like, hey, calm down, man. I don't know if you want to wrestle Malachi Black and all that. And he's like, hey, she's our sister, man. We got to help her. And they push each other a bit. And then Griff Garrison's like, I'm going to break your jaw next week, Malachi Black. And you're like, yeah, okay, but are you really? Come on, dude. Like, what? What? You like this?
Well, I like the whole, like, you're standing up for it kind of thing. I didn't like the whole, like, I'm going to break your jaw. It's like, well, one, we know that's not going to happen. Two, that's just awkward to just say, like, your sister just got sprayed in the face and apparently she can't see or something. So the receipt is to break someone's jaw. It doesn't seem very even, in my opinion, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. And I also don't believe Griff Garrison has a shot in hell of doing anything to Malachi Black. He's in this feud with these pure jabronis. Why?
Well, I think they see something in Brian Pillman Jr. I can understand that. I think there's potential there, and they want to get him on television as much as possible. So you put him in against guys like this.
But he's not against them. It's Griff.
Yeah, but he's going to get the match, I think. Like, this is just one match, and the following week or so, like, he'll probably face Pillman Jr.
He should leave this Griff guy and join the House of Black and be one of Alistair's disciples and give him a new lease on wrestling life. Because this current Pillman Jr. is like a collegiate athlete or whatever he is like weak. Forget the Spirit Squad and join the House of Black.
It'd be kind of cool if Julia Hart came back, and she came back like all like dark because of what happened to her.
No, because that's what Alexa Bliss did, and I don't need to see that shit. I don't need to see a Julia Hart Alexa Bliss ripoff. Can we not do that? Probably fire Malachi Black and have Julia Hart just do his gimmick after that. Fucking ridiculous. Whatever happened to Alexa Bliss? Is she all right? Haven't seen her in months.
Probably like filming something or injury, something cover up. Who knows?
Anyways, I don't really care, and I don't really care about the Varsity Blondes either. A Hook debut video package aired. Hook made his debut successfully on Rampage last week. The internet went crazy for Hook. I don't know if you saw this, but people went nuts for Hook. His theme song is pretty good.
I didn't see it.
Action Bronson does his theme song. Action Bronson is a great rapper, and the theme song sounds pretty cool. So the fact that Bronson is doing the theme song is pretty good. I like Bam Bam Baklava, and he's got a lot of rhymes about rap, and the fact that he's rhymes about wrestling, and the fact that he's finally doing a wrestling theme song, I think is great. I'm a big Action Bronson fan. Hook, I'm confused about the love for Hook because people went nuts for Hook. People are like going crazy. Hook is the first wrestler to outsell CM Punk on Pro Wrestling Tees since the month of August. Hook's got a T-shirt, and it's the top seller. Everybody that's online and wrestling was going nuts about Hook's debut. But I was watching MEW wrestling on Friday night. I was at a wrestling show, so I didn't actually see Hook's debut. And you know what? I didn't go back and watch it because despite the hype, I don't give a shit. I'll see his next match. I don't need to see the first one. People seem really excited about this guy. I saw highlights. He looked all right, but I don't know. He doesn't seem like that intimidating to me. He's a little small. Looks like a child.
He's young.
What's the difference between him and Dominic Mysterio?
I kept seeing like online people are like, this is what Dominic Mysterio should have been kind of thing. Again, I didn't see the match, so I can't really judge. But I think it's the fact that people waited for this for so long. And I think people were surprised with how good Hook was. I don't think people expected Hook to be this good. So I think that's why people are kind of raving about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. So you didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Hook Taz. A lot of hype. Ray Cruz says, don't believe the hype. I don't believe the hype. I got to see it for myself. And from the highlights, I was like, yeah, all right. But look at him. He's not, like, that believable. I mean, he's believable against Fuego del Sol. But, I mean, I'm believable against Fuego del Sol. So, I don't know. Oh, Ryan Katz says Alexa Bliss had nasal surgery. All right. Hope she's all right.
There you go.
Angelo Contagonis dropping a super chat. He says, did you hear that Bret Hart got inducted in Canada's Walk of Fame this week? I did hear something about that. Congratulations to the Hitman.
Feels like a long time coming.
Yeah. How come he wasn't already there? How come I'm not there? I'm not in the Canadian Walk of Fame? What's the deal?
Or AJ. That's kind of weird.
Well, AJ for sure. I want to be in the Canadian Walk of Fame for correctly predicting Juliana Peña's win over Amanda Nunes. I think that's good enough. Can I get that? A little props for that? Put me on a walk. This man picked picked and told everybody about one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. And now he's on a streak in Toronto or something.
And like how AJ predicted the rise and fall of Ronda Rousey, like, yeah, I agree.
Ah, come on. Why you got to bring up AJ victories here? You always got to do that. Can't let me have one. All right. So Hook, very excited. Everybody's excited for Hook. Second best match on this show was Hikaru Shida beating Serena Deeb with a roll-up after Serena ran into the exposed buckle. They tried hard. They started off real hot. They were going at each other, hitting each other hard. Like, they were doing their damnedest to get the crowd back into this show after the incredible 60-minute match that you saw, right? Like, they tried. They really tried. And the
crowd was dead, though.
Yeah, the crowd was dead, but, you know, I was watching on TV, so I don't really care about the crowd. I liked it. I thought the match was really good. I thought it was the second best match on the show. I think Shida and Deeb are great wrestlers, and this has been a fun little series between the two of them.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of great sequences back and forth, a lot of good chain wrestling. You know, it's too bad, I think, with Serena. I feel like she's not used enough, to be honest. They should use her more.
I agree. I'm surprised she's not a bigger deal in AEW.
Right.
You know? It's weird. The fact that she's a heel, too, I don't think helps, because there's a lot of really strong heels. You got Britt Baker, you got Jade Cargill. Deeb is like third on the pecking order, if that. You got Penelope Ford. Nyla Rose, Penelope. You know, like, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of heels. Right. Not many strong baby faces, though. You know, two of the stronger baby faces that they have already been champion, Shida and Riho. But who are the other baby faces? Yeah. Thunder Rosa? Ty Conti? I mean, they're so weak with baby faces, they actually gave Ty Conti a title shot on pay-per-view. I mean, no offense, John. I know you love Ty Conti, but come on. That's not a real strong depth chart as far as baby faces for your company. You got Ruby Soho, but she's already been in there with Britt and lost. Not a lot of depth in baby faces. So the fact that Serena Deeb, such a strong wrestler as a heel, I think switching babyface might help her, but she's just not positioned to be that right now.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, they seem to make the people that are better at wrestling the heels. You know, Bryan, Serena. It seems like for whatever reason, the better wrestlers are heels. And I actually think it works. Like, it's actually better this way.
Trying to think. I mean, Hangman's a great wrestler, you know? He's a babyface.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the same kind of wrestling, though.
Yeah. The technicians.
Right.
The ground-based wrestlers, mostly heels, which makes sense. It does make sense. I like Shida and Deeb. I liked MJF and Dante Martin. I thought the match was all right. MJF did some nice stuff. Dante did some pretty impressive flips and dives and stuff. That springboard shooting star press overshot MJF quite a bit, but everything else was pretty nice. I just didn't care about this match. It's hard to care. I don't care about this diamond ring. And after MJF has won it 2 years in a row, you figured he'd win it this third year in a row too. Especially when he's against Dante Martin. Like, MJF is feuding with CM Punk. You really expect him to lose to Dante Martin on TV? Like, what? He never loses. MJF beats everybody. Beat Darby. You know, might beat Punk. Like, he's undefeated. I mean, come on. He's going to lose to Dante Martin? And the stakes, it's like, oh, here's a diamond ring that MJF uses as a gimmick in all of his matches. You think he'll lose it? No. No, I don't.
Well, it seemed like they ended it off where we're going to get a 6-man tag, it looks like.
Yeah. With Sting, right?
Well, I'm guessing Punk, Sting,
and Darby
Allin
against
FTR.
MJF and FTR next week on Dynamite. It's official.
Oh, it's official. Okay,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
No, it's official. Remember they were saying, oh, Tony Khan's going to come out and announce a big match? And then Tony Khan never came out to announce a big
Never
match?
did.
Yeah, CM
Yeah.
Punk announced it instead.
Ah.
Because he said, yeah, next week it's going to be us three against you three. And then commentary was like, yeah, Tony Khan has made it official. So Punk announced it, and then commentary said that Tony Khan made it official, which is the better way to do it. You don't need to see Tony Khan as like a Adam Pearce type character coming out and saying, oh, next week we're going to have this match. Tony Khan on a live mic in front of the crowd, not great. He's not Vince, you know? He's not Vince. I think Tony Khan as a booker, great. As a runner of AEW, showrunner, fantastic. As a promo, yeah, no. Not great.
I think it's just important to make sure that you don't have the wrestlers booking the matches, but saying like, you know, Tony's booked this match or something, or I talked to Tony and we've got this match booked.
Sure.
You just want to say that because that's what kind of sucks in wrestling when you see the wrestlers are like, we're going to wrestle, I've decided this. Like, no, like the wrestlers don't decide this. Like someone else decides this.
Yep. Well, commentary covered. They said, yep, Tony Khan has just made it official. MJF's promo before the match I thought was pretty enjoyable. Says, Texas, your daughter swallows. You would like me, Texas, if I were more like you, anti-education and pro-incest. I thought MJF was going to say something about the Texas abortion laws, but he didn't go there. He could have, though. Would have been on brand for MJF. MJF saying CM Punk got nervous last week in his promo in Long Island, and all he could say was, your local sports team sucks for 10 straight minutes. MJF saying, yeah, Punk accuses me of taking the low-hanging fruit. That was pretty original last week. I thought that was a great line from MJF because Punk did mention the Islanders like 4 or 5 times in that promo last week. It was a good promo, but it was like a little overkill with the sports team, which is, you know, kind of easy, low-hanging fruit, cheap heat. Your local sports team is bad. Boo, you know? If I go off in a ring and I start cutting a promo on the Canadians in Montreal, Canadians are so bad. They suck at hockey. They can't win anything. They lost last year in the finals. They didn't deserve to be there. They got lucky. They suck this year. They can't figure out anything. They fire everybody. They hire new people. They're worse than the last. It's very easy to cut a promo on the Canadians and get heat, John. Very easy. It's cheap heat. It's not hard, especially when the team is as bad as they are, right? Pure dog shit. Run by jabronis. Pure dog shit.
I think it's fine what Punk did because Punk's a hockey fan, and a lot of people can believe what Punk's saying.
It was a lot.
Punk watches it. Yeah, but like he's got to get heat somehow, and it's hard. People love Punk, so you got to get them where it hurts. You know. At home.
MJF continued and he says, well, you know, Punk says I'm not impressive. I didn't realize going undefeated against a string of impressive guys got you a title shot, CM Punk, or unimpressive guys saying you don't think I'm the champion. You got to get through me to become the champion, but you're just going through a bunch of unimpressive guys while going undefeated. That doesn't make you a title challenger. That just makes you the new Ryback. Taking a shot at Ryback there, saying, you know, you're having bad matches and you're winning them, but who cares? Just like Ryback. Ryback did that, which I think is funny. Of course, the association with Punk and Ryback. Punk buried Ryback on that infamous Colt Cabana podcast. MJF says he was born in 1996 and he is the only talent that's young that matters. I agree. He's the youngest, most meaningful talent. Like, there's nobody as young as MJF that means as much to professional wrestling today. Nobody.
I mean, that's kind of tough. I don't know what Rex Steiner's age is right now, but I mean, I think he could be a huge star in wrestling.
MJF is 25 years old.
Right. You could look at Rex Steiner's age.
24.
So, you know, like, I feel like he's in the discussion there.
MJF means way more to pro wrestling than this guy does, though. I mean, this guy, okay, maybe in a few years he'll be a bigger star than MJF. But right now, I mean, he's impressive. I like him, but he's not doing anything on NXT that's lighting the world on fire. MJF is cutting killer promos. He's feuding with CM Punk. Braun Breaker's feuding with who? I don't even know because I'm not watching because it's not interesting.
Well, it's because he's on NXT right now, but once he's on like Raw or SmackDown, like I could easily see him be up there in the title picture.
Yeah. Yeah, he should be a top star in WWE. But we've seen a lot of incredible talents in NXT completely fail on the main roster because of poor booking and decision-making. So
Right.
I would pump the brakes. I wouldn't be so
They
sure.
didn't have the name.
I don't know, man. There's been guys with names that have come up and completely failed. It's happened.
But with the family background that he has, like you've seen it WWE, like with Charlotte, that actually helps you quite a bit.
Yeah. Ric Flair, who's Triple H's favorite wrestler, has a different relationship with the WWE than, Rick Steiner, who still the Steiner brothers aren't in the WWE Hall of Fame, which is ridiculous, and Scott Steiner, who's, banned from the WWE, who's this kid's uncle. So, yeah, okay, he's got a family association, and maybe that helped get him through the door, but I don't think that they didn't call him Steiner, did they? When Charlotte Flair came in, they called her Charlotte, after Charlotte, North Carolina, which is Flair country. And then they just said, fuck it, she's Charlotte Flair. We're going to put the association right there. This guy comes in, his name is, I think his first wrestling name was like Rex Steiner or something. Didn't they first call him Rex Steiner?
I think it's his real last name, yeah.
Well, no, because one of his wrestling names was Rex Steiner. His real name is Bronson Rex Steiner. Because the Steiners, their real last name isn't Steiner, it's Rex Steiner. And then they decided Braun Breaker, which is such a bad name. If they're going to give him the name Braun Breaker, who knows how they're going to fuck up this kid. And still, he doesn't mean as much as MJF does to professional wrestling in 2021. He doesn't. He's not as important. He's not as big. He's not as known. Most people don't even know who he is.
I'm just saying there's so much potential there to say that he, not in the discussion whatsoever. I don't know about that. Again, MJF, yeah, he's up there. There's no question, but this guy's potential WWE champion here.
Yeah. Yeah, if I were starting a wrestling company today, I'd probably pick Steiner over MJF as a first draft pick. But MJF today means more to professional wrestling. He's accomplished more, he's done more, and really very few guys can get a promo like him. There's no way Steiner can come close. There's no way.
Promo-wise, there's no way. But the wrestling, is different.
The wrestling different. And the look, too. His look is incredible. I'm not taking anything away from the kid. What I'm doing is taking something away from WWE. I don't trust them to not fuck him up. I don't trust them. I trust AEW more to not fuck MJF up. And I know there's talk MJF's contract is up in 2024, and maybe WWE will be interested. I mean, they should be interested. He's a brilliant promo. But if I'm MJF, I would stay the fuck away from WWE because they're going to want to script you and tell you what to say, and you'll be watered down, and you won't be as interesting. You'll get more heat for going to the WWE and taking the money, but once you get there, I think people will forget about you. You'll be really small in that still land of the giants, and the promos will be written for you. So I think MJF and WWE, quite frankly, sucks. I think he'll be too small to compete, and they won't push him hard as a main eventer, and they'll script his promos so they won't be that good. He's way better off staying in AEW. And anyways, we don't have to talk about that for another 2-3 years when his contract is up. But I know that made news, and people were asking us questions about that. I think MJF would be far wiser to stay in AEW than to go to the WWE. I mean, look how AEW treats him. He's one of the 4 pillars. He's one of the main guys. He's 25 years old, feuding with CM Punk. I mean, come on. WWE's not going to give you shit like that.
We're at the tail end of 2021. Let's see what happens in 2024. Wrestling changes quite a bit in the span of 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a couple, and we'll see how things are at that point. I mean, things could be really different in terms of where AEW's at, where WWE's at.
Yeah. WWE might not be owned by the McMahons in 2024, so we'll see. MJF beats Dante Martin with the Fujiwara armbar submission to win the Dynamite Diamond Ring for the third year in a row. Ricky Starks put MJF's foot on the ropes during a pinfall attempt by Martin, so Dante Martin still feuding with Team Taz, which, yeah, I don't know. FTR came out to celebrate with MJF after the match. The lights went out. Sting and Darby Allin in the ring. They push MJF out of the ring and pair off with FTR, start attacking them. MJF gets back into the ring, hits a low blow on Sting, which allows MJF and the FTR to take over, start beating on Darby and Sting. CM Punk, crowd chants for him. He comes out with a baseball bat, runs to the ring. FTR and MJF clear out. Punk gets on the mic, stands there with Sting and Darby, and challenges them to a 6-man tag for next week on Dynamite, which commentary, like I said, made it official. It will be CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting versus MJF and the FTR next week on Dynamite. Like, damn. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good lineup. Sting, Darby, Punk. That may be the best 3-man group AEW's ever put together. That's money.
Yeah, it should be good. I just don't think we're going to see much Punk or MJF actually fighting in this one. I don't think, if anything, if that moment happens, MJF's probably just going to run away. They're going to save that, I think, more than likely.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Stinger will do it. Darby will do it. I don't mind. I just think it's a cool matchup. FTR in there. I mean, that's talent right there. That's a big match. Malachi Black versus Griff Garrison also set for Dynamite next week. Adam Cole says he's going to have a big Christmas present for the Young Bucks, whatever that will be revealed next week. That's what's happening on Dynamite next week. Rampage, pretty jam-packed. Like I said, Ty Conti versus Penelope Ford in a submission match. Eddie Kingston, the Lucha Brothers, and Santana and Ortiz. First time seeing those guys team up together, right? Lucha Brothers and Proud and Powerful on the same side. They take on 2.0, Daniel Garcia, and The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed. Name. Yo. You like my Acclaimed impression, John? The Acclaimed. And then the guy comes out. Yo. And then he does his thing. I love that guy.
Yo's pretty spot on.
Yeah, right? It's pretty good, Max Caster. Yo. The Acclaimed. Something offensive.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that guy. Max Caster, he's one of my favorite AEW guys. Such good promos.
And this Friday is a big deal because it's our last Friday of the year.
Aw, for real? For real? Is it?
Well, that's what you decided.
Well, I guess we're not doing a show Christmas Eve. I don't think that works. Santa will be mad. Maybe we'll do a
or
special.
New Year's Eve.
Nah, not New Year's Eve. Not New Year's Eve.
So last Friday. This Friday. Friday.
We'll see about Christmas Eve. Maybe we'll do a special show Christmas Eve. You'll probably be busy, though. I don't know. I might be around.
So I guess we'll wait and see then. Not the last Friday?
Yeah. Maybe we'll do one Christmas Eve because I think I'm going to do something Christmas Eve with my family, but I think they're just going to come over to my house, so I won't be far from the studio if I need to do a show later at night, though I'll be gone by then. Why don't I do a show Christmas Eve? Can't leave everybody hanging for Christmas. Or maybe I can. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk, John. We'll make our decision. I don't know. Rampage is fun, though. It's going to be fun on Rampage. A 10-man tag and also an 8-man tag. The Young Bucks, Adam Cole, and Bobby Fish taking on Chuck, Trent, Orange, and Rocky Romero. That'll be fun. That's a fun matchup right there. And Dan Lambert set to return on Rampage. So Dan Lambert, he's back. Happy to see him back. That'll be good. I wonder what he'll do. Big news today out of the WWE, John, your friend Kevin Owens has re-signed with the WWE, a multi-year contract worth apparently millions of dollars. And I know Fightful is reporting that it does not have a no-cut clause. So, those WWE contracts aren't really worth the paper they're written on, because they can just fire you at any moment. So WWE could, hire you for, say, a 20-year contract worth $20 million. And, a few months in, they could rescind that contract, tell you to go back to the other company, see what you can get, and screw you on the way out. So, and that's just one example. WWE can offer you a contract that's life-changing money. Says that you're in for you're a lifer now. You're in. You could have a match where you get chokeslammed by The Undertaker at WrestleMania in his final match ever, and then a couple weeks later, after signing this huge contract and being involved in Taker's last match, you could get fired. Just ask Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows about that. Many people sign huge, lucrative, multi-year contracts with the WWE so that they stay with the WWE, and then WWE decides, I think we maybe gave him too much and we're just going to fire him. So I hope that doesn't happen for Kevin Owens. I hope he cashed in big time. I hope he's making tons of money. I hope he becomes a multi-millionaire. I hope he's super, super rich, and he stays with the WWE for as long as he wants to, and he stays the remainder of his contract, and he makes tons of money. I wish him the very best. I'm happy that he signed a deal that works for him, that he likes, and that he's, going to be making money. I don't know creatively if sticking with the WWE is the move, but I'm happy that he got a big contract. I'm happy that, the word is he's getting paid big time. I just don't trust the WWE to actually fulfill all the terms of that contract. I don't trust WWE to keep him around the whole time. Who knows how long this contract is for? All we know is it's multi-year, multi-million. I'm surprised. I thought he was on his way out.
Well, I think it's great for him. Like, if he's making more money, all the best. Like, it was best for his family. That's the main thing. Like, it's not about, going to go wrestle with your friends. It's about providing for your family.
Yep. You're right.
Santa knows all about providing. So he did what was best. That was for his family. So that's great that happened.
Yeah. When you're offered a contract that could ensure the future of your family and your children and maybe your children's children, it's hard to pass that up. Right? Kevin Owens didn't grow up with multi-millionaire parents, right?
Right.
He's not he wasn't a silver spoon rich kid. And now he gives the opportunity to his kids to grow up with a multi-million-dollar lifestyle and the security that all of that affords. So I think it's great. I think it's beautiful that here's a kid from Marieville, Quebec, who worked his ass off, who doesn't have the prototypical look, taught himself how to speak English by watching professional wrestling, eats, sleeps, and breathes professional wrestling, loves pro wrestling like he loves nothing else in this world, and it got him to a point where he is an internationally renowned star and a multi-millionaire, a very rich, if not wealthy man. I think that's a beautiful story. I'm very happy that Kevin Steen is getting paid, because that's what it's all about. Like you said, John, ensuring that future for your family. It's the wrestling business. It's not the wrestling friendships. And wrestling with your friends, the Young Bucks, would have been real nice. It may have been more fun for Kevin. But the money might not have been as good. The offer might not have been as good. The WWE seemed hell-bent on keeping him and offering him a big deal. And he got his big deal that he's happy with, and he signed it. So it must be a good deal if he signed it and he's staying there. I don't know if I'd want to wrestle for the WWE right now, but if they paid me millions and millions of dollars, it'd be hard to turn away. So, happy for Kevin. Happy he gets paid. I hope they don't release him in like a year. You know? Because they've done that. It's like, all right, cool. You got a big contract. What does that mean? Well, it means he can't leave, but they can kick him out whenever they want. All right. I hope he gets paid, and I hope they stick to their word. We've just seen a lot of guys in the WWE recently sign huge, huge contracts and then shortly after get released. So, you know, AEW seems to stick to their contracts for the duration, whereas WWE cuts them early sometimes. But I don't expect them to cut Kevin Owens. He's such a talent. They're using him consistently on Raw. He's going to be in a fatal four-way match at day one for the WWE Championship. And at first I thought he had no chance of winning, but now that he signed his new contract, I'd give him a small chance of winning. He will not win. Seth might win, but Kevin will not win. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat. He says, thanks again for a fun show, guys. Wrestling Uncensored for life. Thank you, Doug. Super chat leader right now is Brian Firth, I believe. Yep, Brian Firth is a super chat leader. Very close there with Angelo, I think. But Brian is slightly leading. Thank you to everybody supporting the Ringside Report Network tonight. Don't forget to buy some new merch. We got new merch over at Wrestling Uncensored shop, ringsidereport.net/shop. Look at this. It's a Smiling Johnny shirt. Pro wrestler Johnny North. Look at that thing. That's you, John.
Oh, the model looks like garbage. Who's that model? Like,
well, I don't know.
terrible.
It's generic, all right? Take it easy. It's not a real model guy. Don't diss him. But look at that shirt. It's a nice shirt, John. Ringside Report Network, pro wrestler. Look at you. That's Johnny North. You can get that right now, ringsidereport.net/shop. Go get it. ringsidereport.net/shop. And Johnny, finally, before we go, there was some controversy in professional wrestling with a man by the name of The Blood Hunter, a.k.a. Hannibal, a.k.a. Devin Nicholson, a guy that I know, a guy that you know. I talked about it a little bit on Monday. It just made me sad that this happened, where Devin seemed to stab a referee in the head with a spike many, many times over. But I wanted to get your thoughts on it because you've been in the ring with the Blood Hunter, right? You wrestled him. More than once, right? It's got to be more than once, I figure. Or just one time?
It was just one time. But I didn't see this video that you're talking about, so you have to maybe explain a bit more.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Did you hear about it?
I heard about it. People have called me about it. But
okay.
I haven't seen the video.
Well, I mean, it's kind of not great footage. But it seems like he chokes out a ref and then takes a spike and hits him over and over again in the head, and they drag the ref's limp body out of the ring, and there's like a trail of blood, and it looks really bad, and they're trying to check on the ref, and then, you know, Devin rolls out of the ring and starts pushing people around, and it just looked like a crazy scene where he was just running wild. It seemed a step too far. And the referee himself is saying, like, yeah, I didn't agree to this. I was supposed to cut myself and bleed a bit. But then when it didn't work out, Devin got mad, apparently, and stabbed him many times in the head with a spike. It's bad.
Now,
see the picture of the ref? He looks bad.
Did he take, like, the object that he was supposed to use? Or was this another object used? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the real plan was. I don't think he was supposed to use the spike. I think he was just supposed to punch him a couple times, and the guy was supposed to blade. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what the plan was. All I know is that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of heat on Hannibal. I mean, fucking TMZ is talking about this guy. They asked The Miz what he thought of this, and Miz is like, he should be kicked out of wrestling forever. No one should book this guy. And I was like, damn. TMZ's talking to The Miz about Hannibal. Like, what the fuck? This is a local guy, Ontario guy, and he's gone like big. Like at first it was just kind of in the wrestling circles, but now TMZ picked it up. Like it's gone big. It's bad for him. It's big heat. Big heat. He's not going to walk out of this unscathed.
Well, I don't understand why you're asking the Miz, like someone who doesn't really know anything
because he
about
saw the video.
This whole... The Miz saw the video? Like,
yeah,
why
I
did
think
he see
so.
the video?
Everybody saw the video. It's out there. You're the only one who hasn't seen it, John. What are you talking about? Everybody's seen this goddamn video. It's horrific. I see the Blood Hunter bludgeons a ref, nearly kills a guy. I'm like, oh, I know this guy. Let me see the fucking video. For some reason, you hear about it, and you're like, I don't need to see this video. Why have you not looked at the video?
Well, it actually isn't easy to find, actually. I was trying to look for it. I couldn't find it.
Okay,
so
well, I'll send you a link.
It's not that easy. I saw pictures of, like, the referee, but, again, I'd have to see more, like, what happened, because, like, things can go awry in a situation, but if you've consented to the fact that, yes, you're going to blade, like, you should expect you're going to be bleeding, no?
Yeah, but not like this. You're not expecting to take several spikes to the head. Did you not see the ref?
The ref had quite a few staples, if I'm not mistaken, on his
Yeah.
head, yes.
That's not how it's supposed to go.
Didn't they get the ref just for this? Like, he wasn't even really a ref. He was just there to bleed. Like, he wasn't even a ref on the show.
Yeah.
He was just brought in to bleed.
Yeah.
Like, the way I looked at it was like, this guy is like a professional, like, blader.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, again, like, context of it all, it's kind of weird.
You got to see the video, John, and I'm just saying it doesn't look good for the old Blood Hunter. What was your experience like wrestling him? Fine, normal, no problems. He didn't try to do anything weird.
Wait, you're in for a fight when you're wrestling him. Like, a lot of it feels real because it is real. So, yeah, you have to be, cautious of that. But the thing is, too, you have to realize beforehand, like, this is going to be physical. This is going to be violent. You have to understand that. And maybe I think some people don't understand the level of physicality that's involved in these kind of matches. That when it gets very intense, and if you can't reach that intensity, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, but it was a ref. It wasn't his opponent. It was a ref. And he stabbed him with a spike in the head after he choked him out. The guy was unconscious, and he started stabbing him in the head. I mean, that's not something you do. It's too much. It was a New Jack-style incident. It was bad.
But, like, no one did anything? Like, this is where I kind of wonder, like...
His manager jumped on him at one point. She was trying to stop him, manager/girlfriend. They were trying to stop him. But he's a big guy. Like you said, man, he's big. Other guys were trying to stop him. He was throwing them around. And nobody's sure what's going on either. Nobody's sure, like, is this... I think there was some, when a guy, the wrestler, you don't want to attack him and stop him because he's supposed to look strong, and you're not sure, like, is this a work? Is this part of the show? And also, I've heard that he's kind of an investor in that promotion, so he's maybe one of the bosses, so people don't want to stop him.
Well, it sounds like there was just a lot of confusion from all sides. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Looks bad. Doesn't look good, and I hope the ref is all right, and I hope Hannibal figures it out. Look bad. Look bad, John. Not a good look for the Hannibal. Nice guy. I like him. I've always had good interactions with him. But I have seen some things that he's done over the years that I've questioned. But, he's a grown man. He's going to make his own choices. He's going to live his own life. Who am I to tell him what to do, what not to do? But every interaction I've had with him has always been good. Right? You've wrestled him. You've always had good, friendly interactions with him. I mean, the matches are a little rough, but like the Hannibal is one guy, but Devin is a good guy from what I've been around.
Well, again, you just have to understand, like, when you're in the ring, with them, like it's going to be very violent, and like it might feel like it's a real fight because in a lot of cases, a lot of it is real. So you have to understand that. So again, if you're not reaching that level of intensity, it might overwhelm you.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what happened with this ref. Like maybe he thought, oh, this is just going to be a walk in the park kind of thing, and then didn't realize what was going to happen. Like he doesn't just like let you get choked out. Like there must have been a reason for that.
I don't know. There was talk that he was maybe not in his right frame of mind going into the match. Might have been alcohol involved before or something. I don't know. There was talk that the Blood Hunter was maybe a little stumbly going in and something was off maybe. Some of the story.
Well, I can say nothing's ever been off in the case that I've ever met him. So
Right. But people are coming out, people that have worked with him coming out with all sorts of stories about him. So I don't know. David Penzer came out. He started saying things. I know Penzer used to work with his YouTube channel, doesn't anymore. I don't know. Some stories about this guy apparently. I don't know. Doesn't surprise me. Pro wrestling is full of characters, and this guy's definitely a character. Right? He's a character.
well, again, I got nothing bad to say about him really. Like I know some people are trashing him, but again, like you have to understand, like he's a very physical person, and the matches are going to be very intense.
This was a step too far. I mean, yeah, okay, he has stiff matches, but this wasn't a match. This was an assault on a referee. This is different. You got to see it, John. It's different. It's hard to defend, is what I'm saying. It's very hard to defend. Shout out to Doug Hepburn. Shout out to Angelo Cataconis. Shout out to Brian Firth dropping super chats tonight. Brian, you are the super chat leader of the night. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Doug. Thank you to all the members as well. Ray Cruz. Seeing Ray on the chat as well. Don't forget to become a member. Join.ringsidereport.net. You can buy some of the new merch over at ringsidereport.net/shop. Buy the new Johnny North t-shirt. Buy the Veer Venus shirts that we have going. That's right. Veer Venus shirts, John. There's tanks just for you.
You can do that?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Boy, I have a tank, really?
Yeah. There's a Veer Venus tank that we have now, I believe.
Well, I thought I had like my own personal like tank.
Like a Johnny North tank?
Yeah.
Like the Smiling Johnny thing on a tank you want?
Oh, whatever. Just my face on a tank would be fantastic.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll get you a Johnny tank. Go get the Veer Venus shirt, though. Get the Veer Venus tank. Even better. This guy, Veer Venus. This is our main man. Available right now. Look at that. Veer Venus tank. Ringsidereport.net/shop. Go there. Check out our stuff. Get some new merch. New merch out over at ringsidereport.net/shop. And that's it. That's it for me. I'll be back here tomorrow night to give you more winning picks for everything happening in the UFC coming up this weekend. We got Lewis versus Daukus this coming Saturday night. It'll be the final UFC event of the year. Coming up this Saturday, we'll give you our picks for that one. Don't forget, I told you Juliana Pena was going to beat Amanda Nunes last week, and she did. Remember a few weeks ago, John, when I was telling you about it? Telling you my
Angelo.
pick? Yeah, there's Angelo. Angelo drops the 99-cent super chat to take a slight lead over Brian Firth to edge him out. Thank you, Angelo. Angelo, the new leader. Remember when I said that like months ago, it feels like. When I told you Pena was going to beat Nunes, and you were like surprised? I've been calling this for a while. Felt pretty good on Saturday night when it came through. Felt pretty good. Felt smart, John.
It's good.
Starting to wonder. I was like, am I as smart as I think I am? And then that came through. I was like, yeah, I think I might be. But even then, I'm still questioning. Huh?
Well, it's good that you made money. Just
some money.
How do you feel about the rematch?
Yeah, I like Pena in the rematch.
Wow. Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I think it'll probably be a longer fight, but I think Pena wins the rematch too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that should be fun.
I think
Probably what I'm guessing
Amanda's time is
spring.
over. I don't know. I don't know when they'll do it, but I believe that they'll do the rematch. I think it'll be at 135 pounds, and I think Amanda will lose again. I think her time is up. I really do.
Should be interesting.
Everybody has a time in the sport. When you won the title from Ronda Rousey, that's a good gauge on how long you've been around. When you start seeing champions that have been around for a long time, and you say, well, who did they beat? And it's somebody that you barely remember fighting in the octagon, that's a sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, Amanda Nunes was a champion, right? Amanda Nunes is champion. Who did she beat for the belt? She beat Ronda Rousey. God damn, man. That was a long time ago. Ronda Rousey hasn't fought in years. Can't remember the last time she fought. And that, to me, is a sign. It's a sign that the champion's time is coming to an end when the person that they beat is like a distant memory.
I mean, yes, but I mean, some cases it's not always like that. I mean, John Jones. There's certain cases where there's exceptions.
He came back and he left, and he's actually not a champion anymore.
Yeah, but he never really lost, right? When you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a different case. But again, I think his time is up. I think his time is up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll see how he does at heavyweight, but I think he's going to struggle with some of these guys at heavyweight now. You know, John Jones is kind of an outlier, but I don't know. I didn't like his last couple of fights. You look at his last couple of fights, he didn't look great. He didn't look like the John Jones of old. The fact that he went 5 rounds with Dominic Reyes, right? That was his last fight, Dominic Reyes. 5 rounds. And some people, crazy people like AJ, think Reyes won. Reyes has been smashed to pieces in his 2 fights after that. Now, you can say, well, John Jones broke him mentally, and he knew that he could never be champion, da-da-da. Maybe. But Jan Blachowicz finished him in 2 rounds, and Yuri Prohaska finished him in 2 rounds. John Jones needed 5 rounds, and it was close. It was close. The fact that he had a close fight with Dominic Reyes in February 2020 makes you wonder. The fact that he had a close fight with Thiago Santos. The fact that he had a close fight with Anthony Smith. This guy hasn't finished anybody since he knocked out Alexander Gustafsson in 2018. And Alexander Gustafsson is no longer relevant in MMA. He's retired. I think he's retired. Like, John Jones is actually done. He just doesn't fight enough for us to have figured it out. Sure, he's won fights, but barely. Over mid opponents. People gave those opponents too much credit at the time when they had good performances against John Jones. But look at them after. Mid. John Jones is actually done. It's just like when Amanda Nunes fought Felicia Spencer and went 5 rounds with Felicia Spencer. I said, I think she's on the down. Because peak Nunes smashes her and beats her in a round. This Nunes went 5 rounds and struggled. I mean, she won, but, you know. And Felicia Spencer's no world beater. Just like Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos and Anthony Smith. They're not world beaters. And John Jones needed 5 rounds to put him away. That tells you it's going like this. You go up, you hit the peak, you go down. It's everybody. John Jones is going down. You can't be drunk and do cocaine all the time and train, when you feel like it and have a fucking 20-year career. Like, no. The guy became world champion in 2011. It's been 10 years since he's been world champion. You can't stay on top forever, especially the way he preserves himself. With the coke and the alcohol and the who knows what else he's doing at 34 years old. It's over. He's losing his next fight. I'd bet anything on it. I mean, if he fights Stipe, I mean, okay, maybe he'll beat Stipe. But if he fights Cyril or Ngannou, he's fucked. It's over.
Yeah, well, you see on the way down, but he's going to fight more than likely for the heavyweight title. I mean, that's not really a step down. That's like, wow, you're going right for the championship. First heavyweight fight. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because he's won all of his fights. He's undefeated. He's a legend of the game. He's very accomplished. But I'm not talking about his star power. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about making money. I'm talking about who to bet on. I'm talking about who's going to win the actual fight. I don't give a fuck about him being a star. Like, huh? John, you're thinking too pro wrestling right now. MMA doesn't matter about, hey, he's still getting big opportunities. Who cares? He shouldn't get big opportunities because he's going to fail at them. He will fail. He will fail. Just like Francis Ngannou will fail when he fights Cyril Gane. That's the next UFC pay-per-view. I can't fucking wait. It's the next UFC pay-per-view. Ngannou, Gane, UFC 270. Give me the odds. Ooh, pick him on a lot of books. Pick him now. Cyril was a slight dog before, but now it's gonna pick him for pretty much everybody. Even that is good value on Cyril Gane. Put money on the Gane man. It's Gane time. Le Bon Gamin is gonna win again. All right, guys. Thank you. I'll talk more MMA tomorrow night with Freddie and AJ. It's gonna be fun. You excited? I'm excited. Shout out Jason Pete out in Mexico. Arriba! All right.
You guys going to talk about Woodley and
oh, yeah, that's
Paul
this weekend
again?
too, right? Yeah, we're going to watch that this weekend. We'll do a watch-along, I think, for that fight. The Woodley-Jake Paul rematch.
Cool.
That's, like, not something I want to see, but Saturday night in Tampa. Yeah, we'll be watching that. AJ is making me do a watch along for that. I don't even want to. I barely even want to watch the fight, but AJ's making me, so we're gonna. All right.
Nice.
Hey, Jason Pete is in Montreal for a month. Well, welcome back, Jason. Welcome back. Good to have you back. Yes, you will all see me tomorrow night on Ringside Report MMA with Freddie and AJ. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Don't forget, ringsidereport.net/shop is where you want to go to get the new merch. Thank you to Brian Firth. Thank you to Doug Hepburn and Angelo Cotagonis. Angelo, once again, the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you to all the members. Don't forget, join.ringsidereport.net. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications every time we are on. And you'll need that bell, that notification to know when we'll be on Saturday night. I myself don't even know. So there's that. I don't even know. So I'll be back tomorrow for MMA. And then Johnny and I will be back Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, right after Smackdown to talk about Smackdown and watch Rampage with you and all that good stuff. And then Saturday for the Woodley-Paul watch-along. How much money can I bet on Jake Paul? Because, like, he's going to win, right? What's the point of that? All right, guys.
You won't make much, yeah.
Yeah, probably not. But, like, you know, if you bet a bunch, he'll definitely win. I can't see Woodley winning, so there's that. All right, guys. We will see you again tomorrow night for Ringside Report MMA.